What's up, Scyushi Squad? We are back in more Trove. Sorry this video is so late. I'm actually recording this and uploading it like as soon as I ended up getting back. I was doing a big full day trip that ended up taking like 12 hours out of the day. And then I thought, hey, you know what? I'm going to end up rushing this video and I'll probably end up streaming right after this. But we're going to be taking a look at three of the different dragons that have been added since the Sunrise update in Trove. So you guys have these available on console. There's actually 4 new dragons. However, only 3 of them are going to end up working with dragon effigies. And then the other, whoops, I should have stayed in the hub. And then the last 4th one is going to end up being insanely difficult to end up getting. So let me see if I can end up finding these guys for you. Before we continue with today's video, of course, we're going to end up having another quick word from today's sponsor, GameAgo. So if you guys didn't know, GameAgo ended up reaching out to me to let you guys know that there is actually a Trove cosplay contest going on over on TikTok right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to check the link in the description so that you can end up finding the paper craft, let's call it, of this Solarian headpiece, right? And then you're going to literally build it yourself, like, you know, out of paper and stuff. Normally it has color, but I don't have a colored printer. Again, sorry, GameAgo. So I'm sure this thing looks a lot cooler, not to mention these ears are actually supposed to be the face mask, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, you're going to end up crafting this face and then you're going to record yourself doing something in, out in public, right? And then you're going to upload that to TikTok with the hashtag Trove Cosplay, hashtag cosplay, and hashtag gaming. And by participating in this contest, you are going to end up getting Suncharge cash. So you're just going to end up getting one of those for free in game, as far as I know, which is really, really cool. But then also we're going to end up having 2 lucky winners. So the first winner is going to be chosen by the most likes on their video, and they're going to end up winning 1,000 euros, which is, you heard me right, did I stutter? And then there's going to end up being second place, which is going to end up being chosen by a group of GameAgo employees and then influencers. And I don't know who else is there, but I know that I'm one of the influencers that's going to judge your guys' work. And then second place is also going to win 1,000 euros, which is absolutely insane. So this cosplay contest started July 29th and it's going to end up having a due date of August 28th. So you guys are going to have to submit your footage before August 28th, and then the winner is going to end up being announced September 16th. On top of all of that, I would recommend that you guys participate in this event, even if just for fun, because I've never really done like a reaction to TikTok stuff. And I think it could be really cool to end up having a reaction to you guys doing some funny videos with this stupid mask on. Anyways, we'll get back to the dragons. Okay, so first there's going to be Raymon the Ever Puffed, and this is going to end up being his stats. So his passive stats is 10 to stability, who cares, 1,000 health, and 50 magic find as per usual, and he's going to end up being this grotesque thing right here. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually just gotten from Cloud Dragon Fragment or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. Where the heck is it in the categories, actually? Let me find this. There he is. So he's actually from an egg, which this egg can be crafted at the Dragon Crucible. Yeah, I was looking at the egg for 2 seconds. There we go. So it's fragments, which is rarely found from dungeons in Candoria. That's what it was. I knew that there was something to it. But let me make sure that the biome is closed when I end up actually shooting fireballs. The glide effect is just going to end up being like this. The effect shots, you can see, is very, very broken. I don't know why. Like, you can see the shot coming out of the mouth. It's almost like it's aimed up, if I had to guess. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the smoke effect itself, which looks really good. Don't get me wrong. It looks quite realistic for smoke. But I traditionally end up liking the dragons that have the more cartoonish flames and stuff. I mean, this guy still looks really derpy though, so that's always going to end up being a good thing. And then there's going to be Budgiz, which has the stupidest name ever. It gives you 3 jump, 5 stability, 1,000 max health, and 50 magic finds. So not bad. It's going to end up being this grotesque monstrosity. It is an absolute demon. Like, seriously. And this is going to end up being another dragon fragments egg thing, which is going to end up being these eggs can be found by defeating empowered devourers and empowered threshers, which spawn very rarely in empowered ashen blast flowers in the Sundered Uplands. So the new biome has two variants to it. There's going to be the higher area and then the lower area. So these fragments are from empowered versions of these creatures that you can find in the lower portion, which I'll show you guys in a second here. So that's the foraged dragon fragment, and then this is going to end up being the crafting recipe for the dragon itself, which is extremely expensive just because of the unnatural devices right here. That alone is a ridiculously overpriced dragon just because of that. Seriously. But the weird thing is that the way that this is going to end up working is with these, right? Devourer empowerment. So for the next hour, Ashen Devourers you attack will become empowered. Empowered Ashen Devourers deal more damage and use new attacks, and will always drop a foraged dragon egg fragment when they're defeated in U11. Ashen Devourers below 75% health will not become empowered. So if you end up just attacking like a normal one, and of course it costs Sun Charge Crystals, which is an extremely time-gated resource. There's also going to end up being like this one, which I think is for a different dragon, and this one? Oh, okay, I see. So these are crafting tables that you can get just off of random enemies in the in the Sundered Uplands. And it seems like we've got the Devourer empowerment, which still gives a foraged dragon fragment, and then there's going to end up being the empowered blast flowers, which also gives a foraged fragment. So very, very weird, but this is going to end up being the dragon anyways. It's going to end up being a reskin of the one from Trove Heroes. The fire video effects is going to end up being that more cartoonish smoke, which does look very, very HD, but we've seen that with other dragons before. And you'll notice that the residue is very, very subtle. See all those weird like spikes coming out of the ground right there? That's actually going to end up being one of the wing skins. So it's kind of weird that they ended up using it on both a dragon's fireball effect and then also some wings, but hey, whatever. And then, of course, the last of the dragons that I currently have anyways is going to end up being the Eternal Irradiance. Yeah, whatever. So his stats are going to end up being 1,002 max health, 25 light, and 50 magic find. And this guy's pretty cool. I mean, look at him. He's just majestic. It looks like a dragon from Mastery. This is a reskin of, once again, another dragon that was added in the Trove Heroes update. But that dragon was a Mag Rider, and so is this one. Wow, 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 wow. He looks so stupid. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. We'll look at the crafting components for the fragments themselves and so on and so forth and where you get them. But generally speaking, the Admiral Empowerment. So it empowers Irradiant Sky Giant Admirals, which again deal more damage and use new attacks, and will always drop an Irradiant Dragon Egg fragment from defeating enemies in U11 Uberworld. Now what that means is that you can still get the fragment from U10 as far as I know, but it's going to be a percentage chance rather than a guarantee. So that's going to end up being this dragon right here, and it says these egg fragments can be found by defeating empowered Irradiant Sky Admirals in the Sundered Uplands. So unfortunately there's just the one enemy that you can end up fighting for this dragon's fragments, and then this is going to end up being the crafting components, which is, oh good lord, just use a dragon effigy. Jesus, that's really, really bad. The radiant power cells, that's already awful that it costs 500 of them, but okay, whatever, that's something that's manageable. 50 Phoenix motes. Ugh. You know what Phoenix motes are? You get them very rarely from defeating bosses and invaders and dungeons in the Sundered Uplands. So basically, if you're just focusing on Sundered Uplands, you'll slowly get these, but they're pretty atrocious and difficult to obtain. And then there's going to end up being the soul itself, which is gotten from composting trophies, which end up being from the enemies in the Sundered Uplands. And then there's also going to end up being Ariel. So this is the dragon that unfortunately I don't have, and I don't know anybody who does have it. The resources alone are ridiculously expensive because it costs Irradiant Souls and Ashen Souls, which again is from composting trophies from both enemies at the top and the bottom of the Sundered Uplands. And then 100 Phoenix motes, which is absolutely insane. And then the fragments themselves is pretty crazy. So these where is it? These fragments are going to end up being found by defeating bosses in the Sundered Uplands 5-star dungeons. Now, I've been doing quite a few 5-star dungeons, and I've only got 3 of them. However, I've heard from other people that you can AFK farm these dragon fragments, because basically if you find a group of people that is doing the 5-star dungeon, you can just sit there and chill and wait and hope that you end up getting the fragments. But out of all the ones that I've grinded legit myself, you know, and we're going to like floor 71, 73 every week, basically. And I only gotten 3 this entire time, which granted, if I was actually doing this on Dragon Shard Day, well, then maybe that would be cool. But anyways, I'm sorry that I procrastinated so much in showing you guys the Dragon's Flight, which doesn't really look that great. I don't know. And then the fireballs themselves, which these look really cool. It is a reskin from another Dragon's effects. I mean, generally speaking, what do you expect? But I do appreciate the 3D circle, you know, the trail behind it and everything. Like, at least they end up making this dragon kind of more worthwhile, but I'm really curious to see that last dragon. So I don't know. I mean, if ever any of you guys end up catching one of my streams or just at me in the Discord with either screenshots, or even if I could see you in game and get footage of it, that would be awesome, so that I could then end up sharing it with everybody so that they know whether or not the dragon's worthwhile. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I'll still have another video come out tomorrow, but I tried to rush this one out tonight because, like I said, I just got back. Anyways, smash the like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel, and have a wonderful day, everybody.